When it comes to bass fishing, what's on your boat's deck can make all the difference. Every bait tells a story and every setup has a purpose, and I'm breaking it all down. What's on my deck? Let's dive in. Welcome back to What's on My Deck. I'm Josh Douglas, and it's been a little bit. It's been about a month and a half or so since I got a What's on My Deck out there. Things have been crazy busy. First, we started the winter off with Breezy behind the camera. My wife, Bree, broke her ankle. For those that have been following along with this for a long time, you know Bree is the one behind the camera here doing these for our partners and for myself, and putting together these What's on My Decks now for 6 years. We've been running this series. So we got a little bonus for everybody. We're gonna add in a little bonus coverage, huh, Bree? I think I got 4 or 5 extra rods on my deck. It's like I said, I've been busy, been fishing a lot of places. Florida, Tennessee, finished shooting an awesome upcoming bass lane with Easton Fothergill right after the Classic. I believe he finished in 4th. Congratulations to Dylan Nutt. What a phenomenal performance by that young man on the Tennessee River. It was pretty cool to see. And yeah, so we're going to bring you a little bit extra. Speaking on the bass lane, it's going great. And I hope everyone that follows What's on My Deck and follows Josh Douglas Fishing is following along to the bass lane, where you get to see a lot of these setups right here in action. So we'll get to it. I'm going to drop the first 9, and then in a few days you'll get to see the other one. So let's get after it. What's on my deck? We are in end of March, early April. As I said, I've been in Florida, Tennessee, Georgia, Louisiana fishing. I've seen about everything from winter pre-spawn to pre-spawn spawn, and now getting into some post-spawn stuff. So just a good assortment of everything from super clear water fisheries to, you know, swamps like I got down here in Florida. First and foremost, I will kick it off with the big stick. I'm throwing a bull shad. I love throwing a bull shad. It's always been one of my favorite swim baits out there. No, it's not a traditional glide bait, if you will, but just an awesome fish catcher. Cast it, reel it. I can cast this thing over the top of the hydrilla. We got tons of hydrilla down here in Florida. They are eating gizzard shad. They're eating golden shiners, all kinds of stuff. They're looking for a big meal. And again, I say this all the time, but yeah, I'm looking for big fish when I'm throwing a bait like this, but at the same time, this thing catches 2-pounders too. This is just what they eat. Sometimes I'm reeling it so fast, killing it, stopping it, killing it, stopping it, mainly using the reel. I'm using a Shimano Tranx. This is the 300 HG. I did switch out the handle on this so that I could have the regular to whatever you call the dual regular power handle. I'm using straight 20-pound Seeger Invisex fluorocarbon. Invisex is my favorite. It just always has been. Mess around with Tatsu at times. I'll get into some of that, but using an owner clip, it's the only clip that I'll trust. I do like switching these swim baits out, and I got the Shimano Outlier. This is one of the Shimano series that I really like, made for big baits, made for swim baits. This one is the 710. It's actually the OUC 710 HP, so it's 710 heavy action rod. Perfect. This is an absolute perfect setup for throwing the vast majority of the glide baits that I throw. So awesome setup. Always going to be throwing it around. Now with today's forward sonar, utilizing my Mega Live 2, I understand swim baits and glide baits better than I ever did before. And I understand how powerful they are, from Texas to Florida to New York to Minnesota, and of course out west, nationwide. They catch fish. Let's switch it up. Let's talk about the one everybody didn't want to talk about, and now we're all talking about it. And this is the Koiki. This is my Koiki setup, and I'm convinced this is about the best setup that I've done use this. So now, whether or not I'm using a full cast Koiki or a smaller one, I still like using a spinning rod. I really did try the bait caster. I still do sometimes. You know, incorporating a treble hook or something like that to hook it up, bigger rod. I didn't mind it, like catching them on it. I just don't like stripping line off of a bait caster. I'm very fluent with the spinning rod, and I really feel like I got the best setup. I got with a lot of really good fishing minds and picked their brains the best I could about what rods they're using for it and all that. And this is a presentation, honestly, Easton Fothergill taught me this thing years ago now, which is crazy to say because he's so young, accomplished so much already. But this is something he showed me on up north, you know, that we could catch bass with it, the urchin, that's what I called it back then. But there's no denying it catches bait, it catches fish. Let me show the bait off and the rigging, how I'm doing this. This is just probably a 17 millimeter Koiki I got on here. This is probably a 1/0 Ryugi Talisman hook. I put a little owner split shot or a little O-ring on there, and then a little tiny Wu Tungsten 1/8, 16th, something small tungsten weight that's hanging off of that there. And I'm using my forward sonar a lot with this thing. I knew it was good for smallmouth. I had no idea how incredible a bait it can be when things are right. Now, I'm just going to be honest with you. There was a time there that I thought this was a no-brainer, but water temps were a little bit warmer. As they started to cool off, I noticed them pull away from this. But there's a lot of different techniques, different ways you can throw this bait and utilize it to catch fish and the Koiki. And I want to talk about the setup, most important when it comes to throwing the Koiki. If you want to employ it on a spinning rod like I do, a very unique rod that I'm bringing back. I think this is like an old Capra special G. Loomis rod. This is what Dino back in the day had me throwing jig worms before there was TRDs and all that. A jig worm in Minnesota was huge. This is the G. Loomis NRX Plus 803S jig worm rod. That's 6'8", short, extra fast, medium heavy. Medium heavy rod, extra fast. One thing I like is I was using the 7-footer, but even that, they'll come and eat this thing off your trolling motor, and I'm sitting there and snapping it and trying to give it some jiggle and trying to play, and I'm slapping the water. So I really like this short rod. I've become accustomed to putting it on the fish, putting it on them accurately, and it's got plenty of backbone to even for the full cast Koiki. So I'm using a Shimano Accents 4000. This is straight up 10-pound Power Pro SSV2 braided line, and I'm using like a 20-pound, 17-pound Seeger Invisex fluorocarbon leader. So that's my setup. I know a lot of people want to know about the Koiki. People have kept it secret for a long time. Obviously, the cat's out of the bag on it. I'm sure we'll see a bunch of them, different versions coming, but as of here and now, the OG is definitely my favorite in the Koiki. Next up, the jerk bait. Once I get it, this is my life, unhooking jerk baits from stuff, but you gotta have it. I'm throwing the Shimano World Minnow. I love this color. I think I might have even had this one on the last What's on My Deck. I've been using this one a good bit. Kind of bone color, got that little bit of orange on the belly, kind of French pearlish, but it's got that gold blade in there. I don't know if we can get that to show off. It's just awesome in these Florida waters. The World Minnow definitely rides high. It's one of my highest riding jerk baits that I throw. Great, again, similar to the bull shad. Awesome for fishing hydrilla, keeping it up above, fishing clumps in shallow water, or smallmouth, smallmouth that are going to be up shallow on those reefs right when I get home in that nothing water trying to warm up. Going to be great. I got a G. Loomis GLX 822C jerkbait rod. Kind of goes with the territory, but it's 6'10", mod fast, medium action, and I'm throwing a Shimano Metanium 70 DC with straight 12-pound Seeger Invisex fluorocarbon line. I don't think you can find a smoother setting throwing jerkbait setup. I do use this rod for top water. I use it for a lot, actually. Throwing little flat sides, stuff like that. It's just great. Shortened handle, and I mean, the Metanium DC, I want to say it's over the top, but it's really not, because a lot of times I'm throwing this jerk bait, it's windy, it's cloudy, it's conditional, and that DC just helps me throw this. And the castability of Invisex fluorocarbon is just got to be, always has been, the best. So that's 3. How about the nail weight, the Nico rig, whatever you want to call it. I always have one on my deck. I was throwing this little combo up here at Lake Lanier a bunch, some at Chickamauga with Easton. Just your standard nail weight operation here. I'm throwing a Z-Man's Floating Worms. I love the pink color. It just gets bit all across the country. I don't care what color the water is. Bass like that. From spotted bass, largemouth. That's kind of a setup I'm throwing at them. I'm using one of the little Z-Man pegs here. It just pegs in there nice. I can feel the bottom. Size 1 Ryugi Talisman hook, and my rod setup G. Loomis NRX Plus 872 jig worm rod. I'm using the 872. A lot of times I'll use the, what would it be, the 842 in this case. I was fishing a little bit more around cover and stumps, and I kind of wanted to hit them on further away from me with that fast tip, and this medium action rod was perfect for it. Shimano Accents, and I'm throwing 10-pound Power Pro braid here, red Power Pro braid, but just an awesome little setup. Nail weights, just, it's a confidence bait for me. It was before forward sonar. It is now with forward sonar. I can fish it shallow, I can fish it deep, whatever. It gets bit, especially around weary bass. What else we got here? I love this one. This is the new Shields exclusive color Z-Man Evo chatterbait. Awesome, awesome bait. Shields got 3 of them, 3 new colors. They crushed them on all of them. This one has been great to me in the recent bass lane. This one was highlighted in there, catching bigs down here in Central Florida. Got a little Z-Man razor shad on the back. I'm a big razor shad fan. I switch it up between their trailers. Always rocking an Elastec trailer from Z-Man, but I just really like that bait. I've caught a lot of fish on it. A little 3/8 model. Like I said, these are Shields exclusive colors. You can get them by stopping in at the stores. You can get them by visiting shields.com. My setup, G Loomis GLX 873C BJR bladed jig rod. Goes with the territory. It's awesome. It's a phenomenal rod for a lot of things. Definitely for throwing the bladed jig. And I'm throwing a 7-speed Shimano Metanium. Pretty awesome setup for a bait that I throw every time. I don't know if we've ever done a What's on My Deck without a chatterbait in it. So we're just keeping it real. It just is how it is. Let's go to the big flipping stick. I got me a G Loomis GLX 954C FPR. Flip punch rod. So that's exactly what I'm doing. For the hook, I'm using the awesome Offset Owner. I love this thing. You can just see it here when I pull that palmetto bugs up. It's like offset real nice, and still Texas rig something up here, but still get the meat of the hook inside there. And I'm throwing a Z-Man palmetto bugs. Like I said, a 2-ounce tungsten weight. Get those while you can, because if they do keep making them, they're going to be a premium to get. So I'm definitely glad I got me a little selection of them. FPR rod, perfect for this, for big weight, for all that. And then also the Shimano Metanium, but in this time I'm using the XG and straight 65 Power Pro SSV2 braided line. Real quiet coming through my guides, real quiet coming through the mats. I love mat fishing. This is some of those old FLW tournaments, watching McMillan and Tharp and McMillan's Old Man and all that, just flipping and punching around the monkey box stuff. That literally made me want to be a bass fisherman today. So always have it on my deck. It's great sometimes just to go out down here in South Florida, just hit some pond, shut my graphs off, and punch up bigs out of the mats. It's good for the soul, I'll tell you that. What else? We got a bang stick. I'm actually going to show you guys a bang sticks 2 ways. First one, a little tiny weight, 1/8 ounce, 3/16, something like that. An Owner Cover Shot HD hook, and Z-Man bang sticks has been catching me bass for years now, but exceptionally well this year. I've been rigging them 2 ways to catch them. One is up shallow in the vegetation, another is offshore. In this case, this is my vegetation one. I'm throwing this thing into lily pad clumps, anything, any kind of isolated cover I can. It's a GLX, G Loomis GLX 894C FPR. So the same flip punch series that I'm talking about, the GLX over here, in this case still using that. I personally love how light these rods are, but how strong they are, how parabolic they are. They can help me, they assist me in getting bass out of that thick vegetation. And I'm using again a Shimano Metanium, in this case an XG, and running straight 50-pound Power Pro SSV2 in chartreuse, because I run a 20 or 25-pound Seeger and Vizex, or in this case I do really like the Tatsu, Seeger Tatsu fluorocarbon line. Awesome way to catch bass in the state of Florida. Other way that I'm doing it is on a free rig. Totally different setup, same bait on a free rig. And I'm using this mostly around offshore, maybe some wood cover, shell bottom, stuff like that. You'll see this setup in an upcoming bass lane where we are cracking bigs on it. Basically all it is just a Woo Tungsten drop shot weight, 3/8. I'm running a little tungsten bead, little red bead, an Owner Cover Shot 4 or 5/0 HD hook, and then a bang sticks in the green pumpkin blue. It's like my favorite color. I'm running straight 20-pound Seeger and Vizex fluorocarbon. My rod, it's a staple G Loomis rod, G Loomis NRX Plus 894C jig worm rod, 7.5 fast, heavy action. And again, I got my Shimano Metanium XG 8-speed. I want to be able to pick it up. I like the free weight. I've always been a fan of throwing even Texas rigs on a moving weight. I don't know why. Sometimes I think it looks like a bait fish chasing another littler bait fish, or it's extra erratic, or it just gives the bait, especially when you're utilizing Elastec like I am on the bang stick, opportunity to kind of come up in a fish's face and give them a look that they just don't see every day from regular plastics, regular Texas rig plastics. Let's get out this one. this is an all new setup for me, and I really, really, really like this setup for throwing little minnows, okay? So this is a new Black Sheep custom tackle. This is a head I helped design. It's called the Low Rider, meant for little tiny paddle tails, big paddle tails, whatever, you know, different size hooks. We have them all for little tiny 2.8, smaller, haze dong type stuff to bigger paddle tails, your 4-inch paddle tails. But we also are using this a lot as a deeper scoping jig. I love it, the big panic eyes on it. It's fantastic. One thing I'll do is, this is just a 3/8. Sometimes I'll take a 1/2 ounce version or something, and I use it like a reaction bait on fish that I just want to get their attention. I just throw it at them, it falls in the water column. As soon as I see that fish start to turn on it, I just get it out of there. I'm not shaking the rod, nothing. I'm just reeling them in and bringing them in. And the setup that I'm using for this is phenomenal. And it is an all new one for me. Bobby G, Robert G, Bassmaster Elite Pro, buddy of mine, he kind of got me on this rod to start using it, so I ordered me up a couple, and I'm really liking it for scoping. It's a G Loomis NRX Plus 821S Ned rig rod. I don't personally use these for Ned rigs. I like an 872. I power fish it a lot more, but for a little scoping rod, it's nasty. And I got this bad boy paired with the all new Shimano Vanquish 3000. Super duper light reel. I found another reel that I like to add to the collection. Can't really tell a whole lot of difference between it and the Accents, besides this is lighter. But the Accents probably has one more bearing, something like that. This is a big staple reel in Japan. Had a big following here in the States, people wanting it from the JDM side. So the United States brought it over, Shimano brought it over. Vanquish is real pretty. This is the 3000 size. Take a look at the 2500 size for you super finesse fishermen. Really a unique reel in the lineup, but it's super light, still got the good handle on it, and this little Ned rig rod is just fantastic. It's just a fun little minnow rod. I can throw everything probably up to 5/8 or 5-inch minnow on it, but just an all-round awesome setup. So that's my first 9. So we're gonna cut it here for this one, and I got 1, 2, 3, 4 extra ones. We're gonna drop those here in a few days. I wanna thank everybody for following along, what's on my deck. Always keeping these coming, always literally pulling out the stuff, how I'm fishing it. No secrets, trying to show everybody what it is and how I'm doing it, and then putting it to work in the bass lane. So please follow my channel, Josh Douglas Fishing. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you're following along in the bass lane on what's on my deck, and stay tuned, because we're gonna kick this thing right back off, and make sure you're back here in a few days to watch part 2 of what's on my deck. Tight lines.